There's only one place to get more Taylor.
Hi, I'm Mike, founder of DollarShaveClub.com. What is DollarShaveClub.com? Well, for $1 a month, we send high-quality razors right to your door. Yeah, $1. Are the blades any good? No. Our blades are f***ing great. Each razor has stainless steel blades, an aloe vera lubricating strip, and a pivot head. It's so gentle a toddler could use it. And do you like spending $20 a month on brand name razors? 19 go to Roger Federer. I'm good at tennis. And do you think your razor needs a vibrating handle, a flashlight, a back scratcher, and 10 blades? Your handsome-ass grandfather had 1 blade and polio. Looking good, pop-up! Stop paying for shave tech you don't need. And stop forgetting to buy your blades every month. Alejandro and I are going to ship them right to you. We're not just selling razors, we're also making new jobs. Alejandro, what were you doing last month?
Not working.
What are you doing now?
Working.
I'm no Vanderbilt, but this train makes hay. So stop forgetting to buy your blades every month and start deciding where you're going to stack all those dollar bills I'm saving you. We are DollarShaveClub.com, and the party is on.
When we arrived at our hotel in New York, the porter was so incredibly careless with our bags. And the room they gave us, it was beautiful. A broom closet. But the worst part was the shower. My wife drying herself with the Egyptian cotton towels. Shower curtain defined that whole vacation for her. Don't just visit New York. Visit TripAdvisor New York.
With millions of reviews, a visit to TripAdvisor makes any destination better.
We're New York's best talk radio, HTLA Radio 1.
Yes, we are New York's best talk right here, HTLA Radio 1 New York. Yes, currently in the Central Park right now, 71 degrees. The moon's out there and a little bit of cloud. Tonight we're expecting a low of 62. And tomorrow's going to be cloudy, overcast, and a high of 68. But that's okay. I'm all right with that. Yeah, what the hell? And, of course, it is Tuesday night. Yes, Tuesday, May 5th, Cinco de Mayo, all that good stuff. You are listening to HTLA Radio 1 New York and Crash Talk, the Mosby Show. Yes, it's kind of a play on the Cosby Show. Because literally, I thought it was that Cosby kid there. What's her name? Robin Givens? Is that Lisa? No, I don't know. I thought it was the Cosby kid anyway. But of course, no. No, it was the Marilyn Mosby. Yes, laying down the law. Laying down the law to all 6 of those officers accused of the death of Freddie Gray after only 11 days investigating. Yeah, fastest investigation of all time. I think it was only beaten a couple of times there by the Ku Klux Klan. I think they kind of reached a verdict quicker in some of their cases, but hey, they're not the court system. And they're certainly in no way, shape, or form justice, right? Right, so we'll let them go for lack of procedure. But in this country, our criminal justice system, we have procedure. Yeah, we do. Not that we seem to use it sometimes when it doesn't suit us, like in this case, where, of course, after only 11 days of an investigation, charges have been laid against not 1, 2, or 3, but 6 different people. And they're not just any people, they're law enforcement officers. They are people that we charge with the responsibility of keeping our streets safe and stopping offenders from breaking the law, not indeed going out and doing that themselves. And I'm in no way, shape, or form making any kind of excuses for them. Do not get me wrong. I'm not standing here going all 6 of these cops are completely innocent of everything, because, of course, I don't know all the facts. And neither do you. because they haven't released them. Whatever evidence it is that they've had over 11 days, it's certainly not been made public. We've got a dead black man with a broken neck at the top of the spine. Now, how do you do that? How do you do that? Well, I guess you can wrap them in your arms and pop that head right out of there. You can break a neck that way. You can snap it like they do on TV all the time, grabbing the person's chin and the back of their head and twisting in opposite directions super fast, rendering them dead. But here's the question. How do you get 6 people at once to do that? A little curious, isn't it? Well, don't be ridiculous, Crash. Of course, it wasn't all 6 of them that did it. It was just the driver. Yeah, the driver of the police truck, of course, which is the prisoner transport, who doesn't have direct access to those prisoners even if he wanted to. He'd have to get out of the truck, the cab of the truck, where he drives, walk around the back, open up the door, open up the interior locker doors for each individual person in the back, and snap his neck. And then close the door up, lock it up again, close the outer door, go back up to the cab, sit down, have a smoke, turn on some WNYC or just cruise around listening to the oldies, whatever the hell he does. But do you think that happened? No. Yeah. That's right, it didn't happen that way. Of course not. No. But what have we been told? Well, it happened back at the station. Okay. So later back at the station, these 6 were all in a circle around them, and they all thought, geez, let's do this, let's do that, let's do that. Oh, well, wait, no, the coroner didn't say anything about contusions. He wasn't beaten. There was no other signs of anything. The toxicology report came back fine. The chemicals in the system is fine. His body is fine. Everything is just fine except this spinal injury, which we now learned he had before all of this, didn't we? So yes, before the break there, I was telling you all about the countless so far. There was 4 in the first segment. There is 4. You go back and count them. There are 4 direct conflicts of interest as to why this woman has no business opening her mouth in front of a microphone or a camera on this case whatsoever. And not the least of which is her husband. He directly benefits or loses based on her actions and decisions here. Not the least of which is the close family friend who is the lawyer, Mr. Murphy, who is representing in civil cases, of course, the family of the deceased. He has a direct interest in what happens to the criminal suit, of course. If she gets convictions, he gets more money. That's the way that works. And the list goes on and on. It really does. She has a vendetta, an established vendetta, which she openly quoted and, talked about openly right after she won the position for state's attorney in 2014. Quote, "I've seen my family blood, the same blood that runs through my veins, spilled on my front door." Well, I don't know about you, ladies and gentlemen, but if that was me, I'd be pretty pissed too. Yeah. Not to mention that the Murphy lawyer, of course, representing the family, was a personal contributor of $5,000 to her campaign to run for the state's attorney position she currently holds. Conflict of interest, over and over and over again. So here's the question. Did somebody put her in this position specifically so she could go out and say 11 days after the incident that after our investigation now of only 11 days, we've got enough evidence, we're going to press charges against all 6 of these officers, shut the hell up, everybody, and go home and stop rioting? Because, of course, somebody up the food chains certainly could have done that. To do what? To accomplish what? Well, to stop the riots, right? At least for now. Stop them. Baltimore is quiet. Yeah. Oh, there's a few candlelight vigils still for Freddie. But the shoe store burning down, Nike Air stealing and then selling on eBay folks, well, they're nowhere to be seen. They're all at home. Was that the goal of this move? everybody and their dog seems to be aware of all these conflicts of interest. So I'm thinking this has to be some sort of posturing or positioning simply to stop the riots. Because if this case ever actually does see trial as it stands right now, the defense attorneys for the police officers are obviously going to have a field day with conflict of interest, aren't they? Well, they tried a little cover-up here. Mosby's spokeswoman, Rochelle Ritchie, said in a statement on Friday that, quote, hundreds of people donated to her campaign. There's no conflict of interest surrounding the $5,000 that Billy Murphy gave her, and the fact that he's representing the family in a civil case which has nothing to do with the criminal case. Except that if the criminal case is successful, we all know, because we're not idiots, that the civil cases that follow will be far, far, far more successful, won't they? Conflict of interest, over and over and over again. The local FOP lodge asked Mosby to appoint a special prosecutor. You know, they went that far, said, hey, there's like tons of conflicts of interest here. In the interest of you not losing that horribly, maybe appoint a special prosecutor. You know, because of that lawyer who's representing the family and his personal interest in you and your husband being the councilman and his vested interest in the votes. Ignoring everything else. Maybe rethink this. Most importantly, it's clear that your husband's political future will be directly impacted for better or worse by the outcome of your investigation. Quote. Ryan also said that none of the 6 officers involved in Gray's arrest and death was responsible for his death. Quote, not one of the officers involved in this tragic situation left home in the morning with the anticipation that someone with whom they interacted would not go home that night. The letter said, as tragic as the situation is, none of the officers involved are responsible for the death of Mr. Gray, period. Well, during her campaign, Mosby told a radio interviewer that if she believed a police officer should be pursued for wrongdoing, quote, I will indict that police officer and put it in front of a grand jury. How do I put this? If your intent, Ms. Mosby, is to put these 6 in front of a grand jury, I think you could actually be facing the end of your career in law. This is laughable. And there's a number of legal experts that agree with me. And this is something else. Now, former Baltimore Mayor Kurt Schmoke, who also held the state's attorney's job, told the Baltimore Sun that the Baltimore legal community is very small. So many friends find themselves on opposite sides of cases. For lawyers, someone who is your personal friend can end up being an adversary in court, he said. Professional ethics will govern that relationship. I don't think there's going to be any problem there. Well, I can tell you this, Mr. Schmoke. If I was an attorney practicing in Baltimore and had any of you as friends and got this case, I would have to pass it along. Because if we're all friends, there's no such thing as professional ethics. Don't even go there. Half the cases that these people try are people who fail in professional ethics. It happens all the time. Do you think the legal profession is immune from this? Well, if you do, you need your head examined. It's not going to be a problem here. Yeah. I don't know how you say something like that with a straight face, but I guess they teach you that at law school.